In this video, I'm going to show you how to drill a hole in a ceramic decorative pot in order to make any plants that you plant in there happier and healthier. Hopefully most of you know that when plants are planted in pots, they do require drainage. That means holes where water can flow through or even be bottom watered in order for plants to not sit in standing water. There is an old myth that if you have a pot without drainage, you can add rocks to the bottom, but that has been wholly debunked, as that's actually worse for your plants than planting them in a fully saturated soil. But unfortunately, a lot of beautiful decorative pots don't come with drainage holes, or in my case, I love finding pots that maybe aren't intended to be flower pots. This was a decorative vase I found at Target a couple of years ago, and I knew I wanted to plant some plants in it, but it didn't have a drainage hole, so I added one. Adding a drainage hole to ceramic does require a few specialty tools. You can't just use a normal drill. It is recommended that you use a diamond drill bit. Now, what is a diamond drill bit? This is a 5/8 inch diamond drill bit that I bought specifically for the purpose of drilling drainage holes. You'll see it's nice and wide. That's what I used on this to allow lots of water to flow through when the plants were added and I water them. So I'm going to show you exactly how I use this in order to add drainage holes to decorative pots. This is especially useful if, like me, you like going to charity shops or thrift stores to find a little bit different, unusual pots to arrange plants or succulents in, to give them away as gifts. Personally, I've gone to markets where I've sold little cute succulent arrangements in vintage cups and pots, and I want to make sure that those arrangements have drainage, because that is going to be the most healthy thing for the plant to thrive. Especially if I am selling a plant, I want to make sure that the plant has the best chances to survive. I don't want to sell someone a doomed plant. So here are the tools that are required in order to drill a hole in a ceramic pot. The first thing you are going to need is a diamond drill bit. So this is a 5/8 inch diamond drill bit. I picked this because this is a nice little universal size, but they come in lots of different sizes. They are pricier than your average drill bit, and that is because, indeed, they have little flecks of diamonds all around them, and the diamonds are what is making this so sharp in order to cut into that ceramic. They don't really have teeth. The diamonds are the teeth. There are a range of prices. This is a brand name one, so it was a little bit more pricey, but I knew I wanted to make sure that it was going to last. As you can see, I've used this a good bit, and it is starting to get somewhat worn down. So, bear that in mind when you are purchasing these. I'm sure I can add a link in the description to some of my recommended drill bits. You can even get a kit where they come in lots of different sizes. I really like this size, the 5/8 inch, because it can be used for a variety of different size pots. I just thought it would be the most useful for the type of drilling I would be doing. So the pot I'm going to demonstrate today, this is a fairly large size pot. I've been using it as a cache pot. I've been putting plants in a nursery pot inside it, but I do want to plant something directly into it finally, so I do want to make sure that I have a nice drainage hole. So this is actually pretty decent size for a drainage hole. You might even put 2 for this size. If you have a much smaller pot, for example, this here, this would still be a pretty decent size for that, but something like this already has a hole, as you can see, but this would be far too big for that. So you'd want to get something a little bit smaller if you have a really small size pot. And I suppose just as important as your drill bit is your electric drill. This is just a standard or electric drill. This, you won't be able to do this kind of drilling by hand. You need something that is going to be fast enough. So this is just a standard drill slash screwdriver. This one is battery operated, but there you go. You just fit it in like that. So you've got your diamond drill bit and you've got your electric drill. Next up, really helpful is a bit of masking tape or painter's tape. This is what I usually put on the bottom of my pot as I'm drilling it, as that just does seem to help prevent cracking. And next, just a little bit of water. And again, because you are going to be generating a lot of heat with your drill, the water does seem to help cool your ceramic down while you're drilling it. The water does also help keep the dust down, as it can be kind of a dusty job and you don't really want to be inhaling that kind of thing. The first step for me, I mean, you don't have to go too crazy cleaning it up, but maybe just brush it off a little bit. And then I just kind of do a little X marks the spot here. Then I might just squeeze a little bit of water on there. You don't need to go crazy. So I've added my masking tape, I've added a little bit of water, and I'm not going to want to go straight down. This is not going to work. What you need to do is you need to start at an angle in order to sort of get a hold of the ceramic inside. So if you start at this angle and you want to just, sometimes it kind of moves around a little, and that's also where the masking tape comes in handy, because you see it kind of moves around a lot. So I find, you know, if you give it a little bit of good pressure, and you do have to kind of get it started there. So now that I've started, you can see I've finally got a little bit of a lip going. It's staying more in place. So once you have your angle established, you can start turning it upwards to get your circle hole in. But just start with this until you're kind of really in there. Normally I would just keep going, but I want to show you kind of where we're at with this. So kind of got a little bit of a semicircle cut going. I can probably even take this off now. I'm going to add a little bit more water. And you'll notice I'm starting to rotate it 90 degrees. And I'm adding a lot of pressure. I am pushing down hard now in order to really get down and cut into that ceramic. It's a thick one. And there you go. We're through. You can actually see inside there's a little bit of glaze that was holding that together. But there is our drainage hole. So that's it. That's how easily you can add a drainage hole to a ceramic flower pot using an electric drill, a diamond drill bit, a little bit of tape, and a little bit of water. So it does require a fair bit of pressure. You do want to make sure, you'll notice when the hole went through, I did kind of hit the table a little bit. You will want to make sure that you're in a space where your pot's not going to slip and possibly shatter. There's always a risk of that, I suppose. But for the most part, it's really easy to add drainage holes to pots that don't have them. So now I can happily transplant this succulent to this pot, make a whole other succulent arrangement in here, and not be worried about the plant not having drainage. Here's a victim. My husband had this plant at work and he wasn't sure why it died. It's because it's just in a big coffee cup. So without drainage, this thing just rotted away. And that is it. If you have any questions, please do put them in the comments below. I'm always happy to answer anything that I can. I always say I am not a plant expert, but I am a plant fan. Always appreciate you coming here. And don't forget to subscribe and check me out on Instagram and TikTok.